there, friends. Chef Walter here with another episode of Flavors and Knowledge. The topic today is 20 fresh tips for the cook in you. And so let's begin right away with the first one. Buy an instant real digital meat thermometer. Well, unless you cook steak weekly, you need to invest in a meat thermometer. It takes very little to ruin a nicely marbled sirloin. I've seen people cut into the steaks to check the readiness. Once cut, the meat loses the precious juice which you need for tenderness and flavor. Number 3. The giardiniera test. Italians pickle raw vegetables called giardiniera while they are cooking something else. It is the snack as you go par excellence. Mix a little salt and sugar or apple cider vinegar or red wine vinegar. Rest for 20 minutes and pour on raw cauliflowers, artichoke hearts, broccoli, or mushroom. Eat as you cook with a glass of white on the side. Number 4. Keep your knives fully sharpened. Your knife set has some type of sharpener that came with the set that you purchased. Often those sharpeners or steel are not of good quality, and once a year is an excellent practice to have knives sharpened professionally. You will chop faster, safer, and much more geometric. Opt for chicken thighs when buying. The dense chicken breast belongs in the past. Today is all about the dark meat of the thighs, juicier and much more flavorful. You will be saving money while tasting a better product. A consumer finds comfort in the chicken breast because it's easier to cook. But learn to cook thighs. Pan roast them in the oven with all kinds of herbs and spices. The meat will fall off the bone, and cook thighs on low fire at all times. Replace your dry spices whenever possible. Twice a year, smell your dry spices. The color may be still natural, but the taste is deceiving. Ground spices don't last very long. Besides, the storage environment is fundamental. Too humid, too cold will affect the overall taste. They have lost their value, so just replace them. Join a community-supported agriculture. Joining a CSA program is a question of debate, depending on who you ask. I've always supported local farmers and producers for a multitude of reasons. If you're into eating quality and healthy, the answer is a logical one. You will expand your culinary horizon while using the very best near you. It is time to replace your non-stick skillet. In our trade, we usually don't use non-stick at anything. Still, for home cooking, they can be beneficial, especially for children that just begin cooking. Always check for scratches and dents, which can occur when using metal to stir. And if the pan looks worn, it is time for an upgrade, especially for those eggs in the morning. Herbs, like flowers, are treated similarly. And so keep herbs in fresh water after cutting a portion of the bottom. There is nothing worse in the kitchen than limp herbs. They will last a while. Better yet, if you cover the glass with a plastic bag and store in the fridge, they will stay fresher for a long time. Number 10. Don't be afraid of a mandolin. And I don't mean the one that you're playing music with. Texture in food changes based on the size. If you like different thickness and shape, then you could use a mandolin. Some people fear the blade, but if you're careful, you will be comfortable, and after a few tries, you will love it. Invest in a safety glove until you feel at ease. Cook double batches of rice, quinoa, bulgur, and other similar grains. For lunch or a light dinner in a pinch, cooked grains will be the answer. Rice salads and grain mixed with chickpeas are some of the dishes that you can make effortlessly. When ready at hand, you will save a lot of time. Grains and rice stay well in the fridge for a few days and they taste wonderfully, all depending on the recipe you're using. Number 12. Lighting is fundamental when cooking. In addition to the lighting above your head, keep the bulb in the oven in top condition. Buy a good flashlight or a clamp light that the carpenters use. Good lighting will help you in the browning observing process of the food. Number 13. Parchment paper, very necessary as your ingredients. When you're working on a kitchen counter, place a piece of parchment paper on the counter, especially if you're cutting poultry. Parchment is ideal when roasting vegetables or to wrap a piece of salmon for the baking. Keep it at hand when you bake your cookies or a freeform apple tart or whatever else you're cooking. Number 14 is load up your freezer with inexpensive cuts of meat or fish. Get in the habit of purchasing cheap amounts of protein for soups, stocks, and broths. Also, less expensive beef is a treat for the winter months when good and lengthy cooking is required. Take that old pressure cooker out of the basement or the slow cooker and achieve some outstanding home-cooked meals, full of flavors and light on the pocket. Don't discard cheese rinds. I don't expect to give cheese rind to your infants, but I grew up chewing on those tasty babies when I was teething. Save the rinds or buy them from your grocer if possible. They'll be more than happy to sell them to you. Freeze in a plastic bag, and when you're making a batch of chicken soup or minestrone, add it to the mix. The rind will not completely dissolve, but its chewy consistency is divine. 16 is overused kitchen sponges. Dirty sponges drive me nuts. How can we cook good food and clean the dishes properly when the sponge is dirty and smelly? Sponges are cheap enough to discard as soon as they are worthless. Don't save on the sponges, please. Number 17, lid on pots. Sounds logical, right? Too many people forget to cover the pots or simply don't have them to match the pan they're using. The lid will bring liquids to boil faster, and the steam will not stick to the ceiling or your stovetop. And that is pretty logical, I think. Number 18 is dry your salad greens using a kitchen towel. I'm not a supporter of salad spinners, and I use a clean kitchen towel instead. I gather the ends of the towel and spin it around. The spinning will allow water to stick to the towel, one less spinner to clean, and achieve the same result. 19 is a little bit tricky. It's called save the schmaltz. Schmaltz may be a vegetarian's nightmare, and I respect that in full, but the fantastic flavor is irreplaceable. So when you roast your chicken, save the fat and place in the fridge. Use when you are cooking caramelized onion or start for a stew or a vegetable base. Bacon fat gets equal treatment. Schmaltz may not be a choice for everyone, and number 19 is simply a suggestion. Lastly, number 20. Use a non-usable ingredient bowl when you're cooking. Buy a large bowl and keep it ready to fill up with eggshells and other trash generated while you are cooking. You will realize that you could have saved much more than you have discarded. Well, I hope you enjoyed this segment on some tips for the better cook of you. Thanks for listening, and if you have a chance, please follow Flavors and Knowledge, which is on anchor.fm and all of your preferred platform. Subscribe to News You Can Eat 24, which is a collection of videocasts on YouTube, and it's listed under the Chef Walter's Cooking School page. For recipes and for some great information, you can always join our newsletter, which is called the Flavors and Knowledge, just like the podcast, and it's offered on substack.com. I will have all these information and details on the show notes. In the meantime, if you're on occasion today or tonight, always keep your eyes on a fire and be safe. We'll reconnect on the next round. Stay well. Ciao, ciao.
Flavors and Knowledge is brought to you by Chef Walter's Cooking School in Cranston, Rhode Island. For classes, workshops, events, and programs, please visit our website at chefwalterscookingschool.com. For all other services offered by Chef Walter's Food Group, check out our main website, chefwalter.com.